Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Pedestal Wife Society. My name is Brielle, and today I want to talk about men are risky investments. I'm going to we're going to go ahead and I'm giving a moment to get everybody in the room before I start talking and jumping into the content. But to get us started, one of the things I want to talk about is this conversation about potential. I thought that we had laid down the groundwork of what potential is and if we should pay attention to the potential in a man. So I'm going to lay the groundwork here in this video today. That's the reason why the title is Men Are Risky Investments, because if a woman a lot gets with a man, a man is a risky investment. And what can happen, a woman can, even if she's not paying into money, she's risking her time, her energy, and her beauty. And you can already tell that some women have already sacrificed that. And that's the reason why we need to be very careful with dealing with men, because men are risky investments. And we do not want to be investing in men because of the potential of a man. I want to pull the definition of potential. All right. We're going to start there because that's where we're going to start, so we can lay the groundwork and we can have this conversation, because it needs to be had, because every 3 to 5 business days, the internet comes up with something new that encourages women to invest in men's potential, when investing in a man's potential is the most riskiest thing you can do. And you should not take that lightly, because it comes at a hard cost when a woman invests in the wrong man and she sacrifices her time, her energy, and her beauty. So if we go to the dictionary, potential is having or showing the capacity to become or develop into something in the future. So basically, some women are willing to invest in a man that is not reaching his capacity, his ability, or skills in life. And that is a risky investment. And that is something I cannot co-sign. That is something I cannot encourage, because I have already seen the result of women who have invested in the potential and they did not get anything back from that. Only thing they ended up doing is sacrificing their time, energy, and beauty. And beauty, baby, when that beauty is gone, and I'm not saying a woman can't get it back, because I've seen so many glow ups on TikTok after women drop that dead weight of a man and they glue up and they're looking better, living life and enjoying life. But baby, you can tell when a woman has invested in a man's potential and it did not pay out, and she sacrificed her time, energy, and beauty for it. So we're going to go ahead and let's have this conversation today. And let's talk about why it's important that women do not invest into a man's potential. Because the potential just means that he has the capacity, the abilities, and the skills to make something of himself, but he currently hasn't. And I know on social media, they have this running joke. They talk about how women wait at the finish line for a man to be done, and then that's the man that she gets with. A smart woman would. A smart woman literally will wait at the finish line to get the men who have absolutely lived up to their capacity, abilities, and skills. When you invest into a potential, it's almost to the level of he's intelligent, but then he drops out of school and doesn't complete anything or doesn't have the ambition to complete. So that is what you're gambling. It's basically gambling. And I may be an investor on the other side of this, and I like a little risk with my investments, but I don't like it with men. I like to make sure that man is living up to his capacity, abilities, and skills. This means he's already doing the things, or he's already living to his capacity before he is the man that you should even pay attention to. Because men are risky. And the women who poured into that man and did not get the ROI from him, that's just return on investment, and they sacrificed their time, energy, and beauty, they would be giving you the same advice that I'm giving you today. So you need to be very careful on just banking on his capacity or his abilities or his skills. Those are all things. Those things are potential. Basically, you're hoping you're banking on him becoming a person that he has not become. And as a young wife, because I got married very young, what I saw is that I saw that in order for my husband to become the man that he had to become, I had to have a hands-off tactic. I had to not come in and try to save him. I had to not come in and try to do everything for him. I had to not come in and try to think for him. I had to have a hands off, because men have to do and put the work in to become the men that they are meant to be. So you want to be very careful with this conversation of investing in a man's potential. So let's talk about examples, by the way, because I've heard, hey, if a man is in college, then that is a good bet. And I'm going to tell you, as a risk taker, as an investor myself, I would tell you that's not a good bet. So many people go to college and they drop out. So many people go to college and they don't complete. So a man going or being in college is not a good bet. What's a good bet? A good bet here is when a man is living up to his abilities, skills, and capacity. That is a good bet. This means he's currently doing it. That is the reason why it may sound harsh, but I absolutely do co-sign women being at the finish line. Because being at the finish line, he's already living up to his capacity, abilities, and skills. And the thing is, a lot of women don't have the mentor that I had that told me to keep my hands off and to keep out of man's business. Most women don't have that mentor. That's the reason why I didn't get myself into situations I shouldn't have been a part of. I let him grow, become, evolve, and become the man that he is. But that's because I had my grandmother that tapped me on the shoulder and she said, let that man do those things. Let that man go out here and risk. Let that man go out here and invest. Let that man go out here and try. Stay out of it. Men are risky investment. And when you invest, and I'm not talking about money either, because women don't invest in men in the same way that men invest in women. A man invests in a woman and he's receiving her energy, her time, and her beauty. And those things are valuable. I've been married a long time, and I watch women come in being beautiful, being energetic, being happy. And I've seen them invest in the wrong man, and I watch all of that fade away. Because a lot of times when women are in the midst of this, they don't want advice. They want to go out here and invest in a man's potential. Oh, he's so intelligent, but he doesn't have any ambition behind his intelligence. Oh, he has so many skills, but he isn't applying them in his life. See, this is the reason why you need to know the difference between his potential and an investment. And since men are very risky and you risk putting your all into it, even if it's not financial, you still risk your time, because time waits for no man. And yes, you will age. And if you invest in the wrong man, you could age fast. Okay, you can age very fast because he's taking everything out of you. There is no inspiration, encouragement, and support that can help a man that is not going after his life for him to do better. And see, that's the lie we need to debunk over here, because there's a lot of women that are with men that you're banking on his potential. You're banking on who he's going to be in the future. There's no inspiration. There's no encouragement. There's no support that's going to get him to make that next leap. He has to be willing to do that. That is him living up to his capacity, his ability, and his skills. So if you come across a man and he's just talking about, if I had a good woman, because I hear this all on social media, if I had a good woman, I can live up to my abilities. I can live up to my skills. I can live up to my potential. But that is not what women are for. That is not what a woman is for when it comes to a man. He should be doing that anyway without you. If a man cannot live up to his abilities, his skill, and his capacity without you, he's not going to be able to do it with you. Stop taking the advice that you can upgrade him. Some of y'all think y'all Beyonce and you're not. Okay. Do y'all realize that before Beyonce came on the scene, Jay-Z was already making moves? So yeah, she upgraded him and social skills and repackaging him. But he was already on his business. He was already ambitious. He was already on the scene. You're not Beyonce. You're not meant to upgrade men. Stop it. And another thing, while we up here, we're gonna say it all because I just gonna say what I need to say. I'm coming across this whole what was it? I can't remember the name of the trend, because then maybe you all might want to check it out. I saw a trend on TikTok, and I don't even know. Sometimes I be wanting to close out TikTok, delete the whole app, just because of the foolishness that I see on those apps. But sometimes you come across some things that are very entertaining and engaging. And when I seen the black wife trend, I love that. I love looking at men being upgraded. But the thing is, I think it made me sad because I felt like when it comes to that trend, women overall, and of course I'm a black woman, so I'm gonna speak on black topics sometimes, but when it comes to the black wife trend, they did not do a good job of showing things other than the physical things that she did for him. Because when it comes to women, especially women who are tapping into divine, especially women who encourage, inspire, and support, they can upgrade, but not upgrade capacity, abilities, and skill. Say it with me now. A woman cannot upgrade a man's capacity, ability, and skills. A woman can encourage, inspire his current capacity, his current skills, and his current abilities. She can do those things for him to already continue to get on his grind and be ambitious to improve his life. But if baby, he ain't got it, he ain't got it. Never forget that if a man don't have it, he just don't have it. And you can't give it to him. You are not Beyonce. And Beyonce ain't Beyonce in that conversation, because her man was already built. He was already made. For her, it was just a little tweaking and, hey, why are you wearing that? Why you hang around those people? You need to be in this type of circle. You need to be around these type of people. You need to concern yourself more about your image. You can't be hanging around the block. That's what she did for him. But what he did for himself, he went out here and he invested in his own skills and made something of himself. Then he married a woman that was the upgrade to the next level. That is what he did. So stop singing that song, thinking you're going to upgrade a man, or getting in these spaces of feminine energy, thinking you're going to upgrade a man's capacity, abilities, and his potential. Because it doesn't work that way. He has to already have it. If he's intelligent, he has to be able to apply his intelligence. If he's skillful, he has to know where to utilize his skills at. He has to have it. He has to already be living up to his ability, capacity, and skills in life. And he needs to be doing that before you come along. If you invest before, you're risking your time, your energy, and beauty. And trust me, I watched it. It does not play out well. It does not play out well, because women who've been in a long relationship and it did not work and she gave her all to it, they be energetically depleted. And that being energetic depleted means there's nothing for her. And so it shows on her face, in her skin, in her eyes, in her energy. This is the reason why they're trying to encourage women to invest in a man's potential, though. Because if you invest in his potential, he'll get a little bit further than he would if you weren't around. And men are risky investments. They're risky investments to women because, like I said, either it can affect your looks, it can affect your energy, it can affect how you live your life, your quality of life with him. So you don't want to bank on a man's potential, because banking on a man's potential is just banking on him being someone in the future. You're not banking on his reality. His current reality is he has nothing to offer you. His current reality, he is not applying himself. His current reality, he isn't ambitious. And that's what you need to look at. Every man that you're interested in or that you feel is a good quality man, you need to make sure that he's currently living up to his abilities, capacity, and skills. And basically, like I said, you're going to be waiting at the finish line. I know that's not something that men want to hear. They want to hear that a woman is going to be down, a woman is going to be a ride or die. And I'm telling you, ride or dies died. They didn't make it. So a lot of times they encourage their daughters, their granddaughters, their nieces to not do that because they already know what the ending is. And men, for a woman, is so risky to invest in the wrong man. I know too many women that invest in the wrong man, and they are still trying to recover. So you need to be careful and evaluate what he's currently doing, his current reality, and not what you want him to do. Because potential is nothing more than hope. That's all it is. I'm hoping he's going to become the man that I want him to become in a couple of years. And that's a risky investment. Do some women it work out? A small amount. It's not enough to brag about. It's not enough for me to co-sign on. It's not enough for me to say, yeah, go take your chances out here. Life is too beautiful for you to take your chances on a risky investment in a man. It's just too beautiful. Hey, Daisy B. Hey, Slay Bell. Hey, Del 340. It's too beautiful for you to invest in a man in the wrong way and not look at his current reality. What's in front of you right now is what you should be looking at when you deal with a man. Whatever he's currently doing, is he currently living up to his abilities? Is he ambitious? Is he going after it? Is he applying his skills? Is he living up to the capacity of a man that he should be? Is he doing those things currently? Not 5 years down the line, not 10, not 15. A lot of men that understand that they are not equipped to for life, they want to attach themselves to a woman who's going to invest in their potential. Because you're taking a lot of the risk. That's a lot of the risk. Because no one's going to tell you that. See, we on social media, we like to be very, I want to give the right word for this. Because on social media, we try to be very positive. But no one wants to talk about the women who are energetically depleted and their time, energy, and beauty, they just never bounce back. We don't talk about those women. We talk about or so showcase the women who had a bad investment with the man and then she bounced back. But guess what? There's more women that do not bounce back than there are compared to the women who do. That's the reason why men are risky investments, and you should be very careful from investing your time, energy, and beauty into a man. You should not just, this is an important decision to make, and you should not make it willy-nilly. This is not something you just throw at the wall and say, let me see how it works. Let's see if we can ride out. Don't do that. Being a little bit older than probably my entire community. I'm probably the oldest of my entire community, just about. I'm 43. Going on 44 in September. I have seen so many women who did not bounce back. And that's the reason why I wanted to do this video. Because there's so many women who don't bounce back. Once they have been energetically depleted with a man, they don't bounce back. They don't go in and lose that weight. They don't go after their dreams. They don't go after their goals. They don't get their life together. No one's talking about the women that they invested into a man's potential and it did not work out and they never bounce back. We talk about on social media about the women who do, but real life, reality, and that's the reason why men are risky investments, that real life, reality, there's a lot more women who don't. Those are women we don't talk about. Those are women who tell you never be a ride or die. Those are women who tell you don't invest in a man. Those are the women who tell you the truth about men and women in relationship, because they understand when you invest and it's a risky investment and you're investing your time, your energy, and your money, because some of these women investing money in these men and they never bounce back. Because I know some of them that never bounce back from being with the wrong guy. And so we like to keep it positive. I like to keep it positive. I believe women can bounce back, But no one talks about the fact that some women get energetically depleted and they just don't have anything to give. They just don't see life in the way that they saw it before. So they're not even willing to take the risk ever again. But men are risky investments. You should not be investing in potential. I'm not going to invest in something that's not living up to the capacity, ability, and skills. Currently, I'm going to invest in something that has a history, that's already doing the thing, that's already accomplishing things, that's already ambitious. Then I don't mind being supportive. I don't mind being encouraging. I don't mind being inspiring. But men are risky, and you don't want to invest in the wrong man. Because like I said, we don't talk about the women who never bounce back. We talk about the women who got their second chance or third chance or fourth chance, and they bounce back and they were able to come back bigger and better and stronger than ever. But we don't talk about the reality of some women who are destroyed by a bad investment with the man, and they never bounce back. So that's the reason why I'm saying be very careful. Stop listening to these people trying to rework the conversation of what potential is. Some things are not considered potential. Just because a man is in college, that is not potential. I'm not sure why we think that is, because there's so many people that sign up for college and they never graduate, they never complete. That's not potential. Maybe, you know what, behind the scenes, I might do a video on the principles and advice I'm going to give my daughter for college when she go off, just because of these conversations being had. And I want to make sure she understands what potential is and how risky it is to invest in the wrong man, and how we shouldn't be as a woman. As a woman, you're not investing in money in a man anyway. You invest time, energy, and beauty. That is what they're able to harvest in order to build their foundation. But you don't want to give that up to the wrong man, and then you're left with not the energy to start over. You're left with your beauty needing repair. You're left where you're older and you're not as positive anymore. So be very careful of what we invest when it comes to men. You all, the chat is open. If you want to add something to the conversation, go ahead. If you have any questions, go ahead, drop it into the chat. But I wanted to make this video because every 3 to 5 business days, it seems like we are trying to change the definition of what potential is. And changing the definition of what potential can harm what women invest in. And so I'm going to be honest. Potential is just a person who is not living up to their ability. So you don't want to invest in someone who isn't living up to their abilities. Just because a person is very articulate, if he doesn't know how to apply that skill or that gift, then that gift isn't useful to him. If just because he's good with his hands, if he doesn't know how to apply that or how to implement that so he can make money, or if he can make his life better, then it doesn't matter. Just because he's social and he knows how to make friends, if he doesn't know how to implement this or apply this in order to utilize this to his foundation and building his life, then it doesn't matter. So there's a lot of good things a man can have that you admire in him. But when you evaluate it and you see that he doesn't know how to utilize that gift, he doesn't know how to utilize the skills that he currently has, then he's not going to be able to make anything from it because he doesn't know how to utilize it. What you want to see is if a man is very intelligent, then he knows how to apply that intelligence and how to utilize that intelligence to create his foundation and build himself. If a man knows how to work with his hands and he knows how to build things and he can fix things from scratch, that he knows how to utilize that skill and apply it in his life so that he can elevate and make money off of it. Like I know some grown men that can take anything apart and put everything back together. And you know what they do? They utilize that skill to make money from it. They charge for going to fix the dryer, or they charge for coming out to fix a car. That is being able to apply the skills and gifts that they have been given in order to make something of it. But when y'all are talking potential, Just because he can, and if he don't know how to use that gift or skill, you need to start backing away. You need to start backing away. That's investing in some man's potential, and that's something we're not doing over here. One of the things that I loved about my husband is that he can talk to anybody. He is literally the mayor. And when I say the mayor, I mean, he's like one of those people who can talk to anybody, and he can make friends really quickly. That's a great skill to have. But what's even better than that is him being able to apply that skill to move up the ladder in promotion. That is how he's able to move up the ladder in promotion, because he knows how to smooth. He knows how to socialize. He knows how to communicate. He knows how to say the right things to get the people on his side. And he's been able to utilize that skill in order to get promotion after promotion after promotion. So just because a man has a natural gift or skill, if he's not living up to his abilities in life, it's nothing but potential. And that's how you need to start viewing it. But if he has skills and gifts, and he knows how to utilize them to make money, to make his life better, to build his foundation, to live a good life, then that man is a great investment. And when I say investment, I'm just using the term, you all know I'm an investor, okay? I'm just using the term as investment, but I'm not saying you utilize money. Women never utilize money when it comes to men. They utilize time, energy, and beauty. And since you're going to utilize your time, energy, and beauty, you don't want to put that investment into any man. Because like I said, we don't talk about the women who did not or who will not be able to reach the goals or live the quality of life that they desire because they invested in the wrong man. We don't talk about those women. I'm talking about those women today because I live in the real world. In the real world, a woman can invest in the wrong man and she never bounces back. And also in the real world, a woman can invest in a man and she can bounce back, but there's a big growing number of women who don't. And I think those women need to be talked about so that women that are coming after them, that they don't do the same things or make the same mistakes that those women made. And anytime I've had a conversation with those women, it's always I invested in his potential. Girl, he had talent. He could draw. He could take anything apart. He could talk. He could sell. And the thing is, he had the talent and the gift, but he didn't know how to implement or apply it so that he can build a foundation off of it. And that's what you're looking for. When it comes to men, you're looking for him knowing how to utilize his gifts to live up to his abilities and improve his quality of life. When you see men that can do that, that is the man that you want to invest time, energy, and beauty into. That is the man you want to give that to. Because he'll be able to give something back to you. The women that invest in those men and they don't receive anything back, they don't receive anything back, and you can tell they didn't. That is the reason why their beauty isn't where it needs to be. They look older than their age. That is the reason why they're not living or having the quality of life that they desire. That is the reason why they're stressed and lack ambition themselves sometimes. But men are risky investments. And it's so important that you don't take this lightly and you don't get tricked by social media trying to encourage you to invest in a man's potential. That means you're investing in a man who hasn't become the man that you desire him to be. You're investing in hope. And hope is a beautiful thing to have. I do believe in having hope. But when it comes to men, I think you need to let that go. You don't have hope when it comes to men. You do not operate on hope when it comes to vetting, dating, courting, and marrying men. I thank God for this community. It helped me bounce back from my ex. That relationship aged me, but I'm bouncing back. I pray more ladies find the sacred work. Thank you so much, Daisy B. I appreciate you because it's so important. I'm just being real because we talk about the positives of women spending like 20, 25, and 30 years with a man and it not working out. And then we say that they're able to bounce back. I'm just putting out the reality of it all is that some women don't. That's the reason why men are risky investments. That's the reason why you don't invest into a man's potential. That is the reason why if a man's not living up to his ability, his capacity, or has done the things for himself, you should not come in trying to figure out how to inspire, encourage, and support him. You should be letting him go and finding you another who is living up to his own capacity, his own abilities, his own skills. Because that's what a man does. A man, understanding the gifts and talents that he has, he figures out how do I use those gifts and talents in order to create me a foundation and to have a great quality of life. That is what a man need to do. That is not your job to come in and try to figure that out for him. And I am glad that I had a mentor that my grandmother was a widow, okay? And she encouraged me since I got married so young to, hey, don't get involved in that. Don't say that. Don't do that. Don't try to fix anything. Let it work itself out. Let him go ahead and use his skills, his ability, and improve quality of life. Let him go out here and get it. And you raise the babies. That's what she told me. Because I remember he lost his job and everybody was so mad at me. And they still are kind of angry a little bit at me now, like, because he lost his job. And I think a lot of people thought I was going to go out here and go get a job, but I had just had a baby. I just had my first baby. And my grandmother was like, no, don't go out here and go do any of that. This is what you do. You go ahead and continue to take care of the baby. You continue to take care of the home. You continue to encourage and support him and inspire and whisper great things into him and let him go out here and do his thing. And he did. He literally worked at McDonald's for probably like 3 weeks to keep us afloat, to pay our mortgage, to get everything done. Because my husband, I had a brand new house at 23. I had 2 new cars at 25. My husband has taken well care of me. That's why you won't ever see me disrespect that man. Because yes, I love my man, but I understand that he has to know how to utilize his own skills and gifts. That is not my job to come in and tell him how to use those things. That's what women think they have to do. You think you have to invest into a man to the level of you have to tell him how to use his gifts and skills when that's something everybody has to go on their own journey in order to determine how to use their own gifts and skills. That's not up to you. And I'm glad she always pulled me back because sometimes, of course, I was young and dumb and I would get triggered by the things that people were saying. And it was a small town, so everybody talked. Everybody know your business in a small town. Okay. And so they would be talking, the little whispers. And she just told me to stand still. And I'm glad I did. And when we had our 20th anniversary party, he stood up, he gave the toast. He said, I would not be the man I am if it wasn't for the wife I have. He's always given me the credit. Even though all I've done was inspire, encourage, and support. And of course, I gave my time, energy, and beauty, but baby, mine is intact because I knew how to step back and let a man be a man and let him find his own way and let him figure out how to use his natural gifts and talents. I didn't have to go out here and try to go and put him in classes or try to talk to him about using his gifts and skills or try to figure out how he's going to be able to use his natural gifts and skills. No, he is a man, went out there in the big wide world and figured it out on his own. Just imagine that. Yes, I learned just to let go. Just let go. Do you think the same applies to us as women? Should we also be the best version of ourselves before getting into a relationship? I'm going to tell you should be on a journey of becoming the best version because you will never be the best version. Once you get in a relationship, there's another elevation that happens. You start to absolutely heal more. You start to evaluate and become better at the skills that you currently have. The right person will make you better. The right person will make you better. So you don't have to go in and try to be perfect because there's no perfection anyway. Both people are not perfect. It's just two imperfect people perfectly together. That's all it is. So no, do you have to go in a relationship 100% perfect? No. I think that it's a good idea to go in a relationship with the skills to be in relationship in some type of commitment. And that's working on yourself and becoming the best version of yourself and doing the inner work required. But once you get with him and you get with the right person. Because I can honestly say I definitely am with the right person, and being with the right person, I've become a better woman, and becoming a better woman every single day. I feel like over time I've just gotten better and better, and that's because I'm with the right person too. Y'all know how some people say you get with the wrong person and it just brings out the horror from you, or like not a horror. You get with the wrong person and you start becoming somebody you don't want to be. And I've experienced that too. I've been in a bad relationship before where I started becoming the worst that I could become. I became the worst version of woman you can think of just because I was with him. He just pulled that out of me. And that's another thing. When you start being with that guy and you start becoming the worst version of yourself, run. Because I don't even, when people tell me how I acted when I was with that guy, when I was with him, I don't even recognize who that woman is. Because it was a wild time in life. Maybe I'll talk about that in like my membership or something. So you all can understand that sometimes when you're with the wrong person, you'll know, because you'll become the worst person that you can ever imagine. You won't even recognize who you are with that person. And with my husband, my beloved, I'm becoming better and better. And he encourages me to do some things I wouldn't even want to do, or I wanted to do, but sometimes I'm not. You know how they say introverts and extroverts kind of mesh well. He's an extrovert and I'm an introvert, or maybe I'm an ambivert, because I can kind of adapt too. But after a while, I get to the point I'm very energetic conscious of energies, and I gotta rest. And I desire having no one around me. So I'm actually good in solitude, and I'm actually good with a crowd, but not for a long time. After a while, I'm like, I don't want to be around these people. But he's an extrovert. And so we mesh well together. And one of the things my daughter loves to say, my daughter loves to tell me this when it comes, because I think I asked her a question. I said, have you learned, is there one thing that you learned from me and your dad being together? And she was like, I've learned that the best way to be with someone is for you both to accept each other. She was talking about the fact that she loves the fact that we accept each other and we have each other's back. And so she said sometimes, since our values align, it's like she asked me something, I'm going to get the same answer as he asked, if she asked him. And I love that. So she loves our relationship. Our relationship is actually a standard for her. And I'm excited about that, because women my age, I have other friends my age also, and they ask their daughters, hey, would you want a relationship like me and your father? And a lot of them said no. And I was like, why are they saying no? What's going on over there? Because I thought y'all were good. But that's a good indicator too. If the kids are looking at the relationship and they're like, ooh, I don't want that, there's something going on. Exactly. I like that advice. Run if the worst version of you come out. Yes. Trust me, it's not going to be pretty, because so many things I did in that relationship, and I'm still kind of blown away, because it's something that it's not me. It was just because there's something in him and me, our relationship, it just didn't mesh well. We just weren't a good energetic match. And I kept trying. And that's another sign. When you keep trying and it doesn't work out, and everything you do to try to keep the relationship together, it doesn't work out. It falls apart. It doesn't end up what you wanted to be. That's one of the things I noticed in a relationship. And I'm glad that I was like, I'm not going to invest my time into it. I think one of the things I saw growing up too, and this is on the other side, and it's not my aunties or my grandmother. On the other side, on family that's, just far removed from me, I saw those relationships where they would be together for years, but they really didn't mesh well. They really weren't a good match for each other, but they stayed together. And I really didn't want that. I didn't want a relationship where we're constantly screaming, we don't know how to talk to each other. I didn't want a relationship where they're where our values are not aligned. I didn't want a relationship where they weren't future conscious. I didn't want a relationship where he wouldn't pour into me and, invest in my dreams. I didn't want that relationship. And I saw that from far, removed from some family members where they would be in these long-term situations, and it was marriage, but it would be a long-term marriage, and the marriage just wasn't something or examples that I want to care or have for myself. And so when I saw that he brought the worst out of me, I let that man go. Because I feel like that if I'd have stayed with him, y'all, you wouldn't have had this YouTube channel. I'd probably be somewhere locked up. Because I've never been one that kind of keep quiet, or I've always been one that's, I might be an introvert, but I always knew how to speak up for myself. Okay. I've always known how to speak up for myself. And that's one of the things he did not like. He did not like when I would speak up for myself. And the arguments were terrible. The fights were terrible. And like I said, and I don't take disrespect well. So I think that this YouTube wouldn't have been here, and I'd have been locked up, won't let me out. I wouldn't have been, because the relationship was too volatile. Like, it was just that bad. And I can't even imagine the woman who actually spends time going to the country club and operates in certain circles and goes and has lunch and brunch and goes out of town on vacation, to the woman I was with that other guy who was it was just a mess, because it's just something I think he wanted to try to get me to submit, and I could not. That's another sign too, by the way. If you can't even lean back and let that man lead, and let that man, you can't let that man make decisions for you or for the commitment that y'all have with each other, you probably need to leave that man alone. Because when you all mesh well and your values are aligned and y'all get along very well, it's easy to kind of lean back and let that person do their thing. But I couldn't do that. There was something in me. I didn't trust him. And that's another sign of not trusting him. I didn't trust his word. I didn't trust how he moved. I didn't like how he showed up as a man. I was with him though, because I thought at that time just because I could speak up for myself, I knew that even back then I was operating from a place of low self-esteem. So I thought, hey, I don't want to let this go. I don't want to sit here and not have somebody until I had to do my inner work. My inner work was required. It was a necessity. Some women downplay their skills, knowledge, and interests to not overshadow the man. Should there be a balance? I don't do that. Why? I think when it comes down to this, some women downplay their skills, knowledge, and interests because they are concerned that man is not going to have an interest in them. I am not concerned about that. My husband is always trying to get me to show my skill, my knowledge, and my interest. He's always encouraging me to do so. This YouTube channel came out of him encouraging me to do so. He literally told me, he said, look, quit the job, because I went to work for 3 years as a teacher, a school teacher in the middle school. And he encouraged me to do what I'm good at. And that's giving advice. That's counseling. That's being there in support of women. And this is how because at first I didn't want to do it. I was like, I don't know, because I'm not really a social media person. I'm an introvert at heart. And he encouraged me to do that. So I wouldn't encourage being with somebody who's going to want you to downplay your skills, your knowledge, and interests. Now, is there a certain thing that a woman has to do? As a woman, we shouldn't be trying to use our skills, knowledge, or interests to beat a man over the head with them. That's the only thing I would say a woman shouldn't do. A woman shouldn't try to use her skills, knowledge, or interests to beat a man over the head with it, to say, to antagonize or say, I'm better than you because I have this degree. I'm better than you because I have these interests. I'm better than you because I have this knowledge. Don't do that. But you should never be with a man who doesn't admire or encourage you to live up to your interests and knowledge and skills that you have. Because supporting him to become the best version of himself, I want to receive that back. And I have. I have received that back for the last 23, going on 24 years in August with my husband. He's always encouraged me. Matter of fact, he's been pushing me a lot more to do a lot more, even to come on social media. But he understands now why I move in the way that I move. Like, social media is a thing that I love to do, but I want to really love it. I want to really feel that the divine has brought me here, and not just brought me here to get a like or to grow on social media. That's never been my desire. So he has to understand it from that perspective. And when he understands it from that perspective, that it's a calling and I should only come when I'm called to do videos versus just coming to do videos just because I want to be seen or I want to get the likes. So I just want to get someone to join my channel. So now he gets and understands that. But he still encourages me. He's like, you should do more videos. He wants me to up my video game. He's always encouraging me to up my video game because he watches my videos, by the way. He likes my videos and he reposts them. But no woman should be with a man that is wanting her to downplay her skills, knowledge, or interests. He should be proud that this woman is knowledgeable, has skills, has gifts, has interests. And he should want to showcase that and encourage it. But keep it sweet. Don't go in and try to beat him over the head. Because the more you beat him over the head with all of your knowledge, your skills, and your interests, and that pushes him away. Just like you want to encourage him to showcase his skills, his knowledge, and his interest. You want to showcase that. You want to support that. You want to encourage that. You should receive that same thing. And I think that's what they're talking about. I think in these conversations, they negate to tell women, hey, just because you got it, don't mean you need to beat somebody over the head with it. It's just the same example of when people become very religious, they beat you over the head with the Bible. They don't show you that they're living by the word. They beat you over the head by the word. And see, if you're beating someone over the head with the word, no one is going to be interested in actually following the word. Your light should shine so bright that that person has interest. So that's my advice for that. But men are risky investment. And a woman's investment is time, energy, and beauty. And so we have to be very careful with investing in the wrong man. Investing in the wrong man can slow down you living your best life or becoming your best version. So that's the reason why you don't want to invest in potential. Potential is a hope. It's a dream. It's hoping and dreaming that this man will become the man that you desire him to be. In order to become good at vetting a man, you need to look at his current reality. What is he currently doing? Not his 5-year plan, not his 10-year plan, not his 15-year plan. What is he currently doing? Is he currently not using his skills and gifts and talents in order to build his foundation and become the best version of himself? Is he not doing the work that's required so he can be the man that he needs to be now? What is he doing now? That should be one of the main questions you ask yourself. Not what you like about him. Yes, you like that he looks good. You like that he's very articulate. You like that he's intelligent. You like that he has certain skills. He's good with his hands. You like these things about him. But how is he utilize these things to improve his life? If he isn't, then that's the man that you want to bypass. Because men don't think like women when it comes to their own talents and gifts. Men try to use their talents and gifts to improve their lives. Sometimes women use their talents and gifts as a hobby. Men are risky. I don't want you to look back years later and wish that you had not taken a chance on that man. When I'm telling you from this video, we can mark it down, write it down. I'm telling you that you're not looking for a man's potential. You're looking for a man's abilities and skills currently and how he's living his life now. Well, I don't have anything else. I'm looking through the chat to make sure I've responded to all of the questions. And if you have something you want to add to the conversation, please do so. Take the time to like the video. My husband got on me about that. He said I never ever ask for people to like the video. Like I be so involved in what I'm doing. I don't say, hey, like the video. Like the video. Write a comment at the end of the video once it's completed, if you don't mind. That helps the video and helps the algorithm. I'm trying to learn all about that, but I'm just not one of those ones who are so sorely invested in that. I'm more invested in my community and how I can be of help, especially of, being married for so long and being around so many women and seeing women's success and seeing women fail, especially when it comes to hypergamy and dating well and marrying a high quality guy. I have a lot of advice and wisdom on that. Thank you for your words and time. Thank you, Marilyn. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. I appreciate you all being all the way to the end. I'll see you all on the next one. You all have a happy, happy Friday. Bye.